see where it appears to be burnt kind of on the end from the expansion of the gas, the burning of the gas, and it appeared that that primer had been struck, which initiates the firing of it.
Indicating again it had been fired.
Yes.
And Exhibit 69.
A live shell casing, you can see that the bullet is still there.
The bullet on the end indicates it has not been fired.
Correct.
Exhibit 70.
I lifted up that seat and you could see where there was a jack there from the vehicle.
And in the
And also
door facing of the back seat, is there any evidentiary value there?
Yes, there's a spent shell casing right there.
And you say spent, once again, that means
Had
it was
been
fired?
Excuse me.
And Exhibit 71.
A zoomed in photograph of that one.
And 72.
I believe that's going to be the front driver's seat, a magazine that had been loaded with cartridges inside of it.
Okay, so this is still an additional casing? I mean, a magazine?
Yes, sir.
And once again,
I
fully
think
loaded?
we're around 14, I believe.
Thank you. And 73.
The driver's seat, we know that's because of the airbag right there, and then two live bullets there in the driver's seat.
74.
A zoomed in photograph of both of those.
And finally, 75 down, I guess, toward the
Yes.
middle of the screen.
Same magazine that we had noted earlier, and then two more shell casings or cartridges right there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
When we talk about weapons and ammunition, what does the word caliber mean to you?
It's the that ammunition, a caliber goes with that type of gun. So if you had a .308 caliber rifle, it would shoot 308 ammunition. A 9mm would shoot a 9mm. It's the size of the weapon.
And so what caliber was this ammunition?
223.
And is a .223, can it be fired in a 9mm weapon?
No,
And vice versa?
no.
And so if you find .223 casings, the indication is it was fired from a .223 weapon.
Correct.
And by the same token, if you find a 9mm casing, it indicates that it was fired by a 9mm weapon.
If it was spent or had been fired, then yes, it would have been shot from a 9mm.
And once again, that would be if it was a semi-automatic that ejected the casing as opposed to a revolver.
Correct.
May I approach, Your Honor? Yes, sir. Stacy's Exhibit 12, if you'll just take a quick look at that.
May I?
Yes. You testified that you found two live casings in the truck that you did the search on. Does that appear to be the same?
Two live?
Fired casings?
Yes.
Thank you for correcting that.
Yes, sir. These would be fired casings.
Thank you. The state offers Exhibit 12. No objection. Thank you. Exhibit 12, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. And on Exhibit 12, the two casings, on the end of those casings, is there a head stamp indicating what manufacturer?
Yes, sir.
And could you tell us what it is?
Not without my glasses.
Okay. And you didn't bring them?
No, sir, I did
We'll
not.
save that for another witness then. I couldn't either, that's why I asked you.
Is he just cheaters or what?
Yes.
You want to try to give us some?
Hey, if it'll work, it'll work.
Try that.
I have some cheaters.
Don't break them, there wasn't go.
We'll give it one more try, but
All right.
we've got younger people coming with better eyes.
I thought my Sight was bad. No, I can't.
Okay, fair enough.
I can't. I'm sorry.
That's all right, not a problem.
I appreciate it.
Right by your book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let's try these. So we can keep track. Of course, they're pink, but
Hey, pink will work. I think that'll work.
Really?
Says LC 22.
Bill, if you want to read it, we'll agree.
Is it LC 223?
Yes,
Would
sir.
that be consistent with what's fired from those semi-automatic weapons?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And LC stands for the manufacturer.
Yes, sir.
223 is the caliber.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Pass the witness.
Please. Good afternoon, Ranger.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I wasn't expecting that accent.
No, no, I'm sorry about that. So, so my name's Gary Hilly. We've not met before.
No, sir, we have not.
And so you understand, you've done this a lot before, right?
Yes, sir.
So you understand I'm one of the attorneys representing Adrian,
Yes, sir.
right? And
Yes, sir.
You know I've got to ask you some questions.
Sure.
And you testified loads of times.
A couple of times. Yes, sir.
A couple of times. So I'm not going to ask you anything you haven't been asked before. So if I tend to speak too fast, so if I do, you just tell me to slow down, and if you need me to repeat something, say Gary, go again.
Sounds good. Thanks, sir.
And so I wanted to, let's go back to the beginning of your testimony. So, do I address you as Ranger or Lieutenant, just to start off with?
Whatever's good with you or Jason. That's just fine.
So if I just call you Ranger, is that good enough? Is that
That's
respectful
perfect.
enough?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so Ranger, I want to talk to you a bit about your training experience, because you've been, did you say you've been in law enforcement since 1998?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for your service. We appreciate you. So that's a lot of experience.
A little bit. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, so you and look, I mean, I wrote some of it down. You've done a lot of things. You've been you're a crime scene investigator, right?
Yes, sir.
You've been a firearms instructor. Are you still a firearms instructor?
Yes, sir.
So how long have you been doing that?
Since probably 2002.
So you've been doing that.
A little bit of time. Yes, sir.
That's 23 years, 24 years now, right?
Yes, sir.
Nearly a quarter of a century. So you've got a lot of experience in the world of firearms and instruction in firearms.
Yes, sir.
But of course, I guess you said that you worked for were you a DPS trooper at the start?
Yes, sir.
And so at some point you have to go through some kind of academy,
Yes, sir.
right? And they teach you basic police tactics or ranger tactics, right?
Basic police tactics. Yes, sir.
And because if you hadn't had any police experience before or law enforcement experience before, that's where they teach you the basic stuff.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And so when we talk about basic stuff, we talk about report writing,
Yes, sir.
some knowledge of the penal code,
Yes, sir.
stuff like that, driving,
Yes, sir.
right, weapon handling,
Yes, sir.
and some tactics that go around basic policing,
Yes, sir.
right? And you like I said, one of the basic things is report writing, right?
Yes.
Because reports are important,
Yes, sir.
right? Because you try and make them fair, I would imagine, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you try to include details in them.
Yes, sir.
Because on like an occasion like today, this incident was 3 years ago,
Yes, sir.
right? So did you prepare a report about this incident?
We prepared many reports about this incident.
Okay. And have you reviewed any today?
No, sir, I have not today.
Have you reviewed any in preparation for your testimony?
More of the photographs is what I reviewed, a statement, and then many of the interviews that I had done.
So let's talk about, so when you say a statement,
Yes, sir.
you said a statement, is that a statement that you made or?
No, it was based off of an interview that I had done.
So because you also did interviews in this case, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. We'll talk about that in a little while. But do you recall how many reports you authored in this case?
No, most of the reports that I authored were based off the interviews that I had conducted.
So, okay, well, let me go a different way then. So your investigation of this scene, we've established that you went to the scene, and we'll talk about that. I'm talking about the photographs that Mr. Turner's got here, if I may, Bill. Can I borrow for a second? Are that the right ones?
they're right here.
They're the wrong ones. Can I borrow for a second? So you're on my approach, the witness. So your investigation of this incident is kind of documented in these photographs. Is that
Yes,
fair
sir.
to say? So you didn't do a written report? Or
No.
I guess type now, right?
No, correct. Yes, sir. Most of mine was documented by the photographs.
So I guess traditionally you'd have done. Back when you started, it was probably a handwritten report, right?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and now it would be a typed report.
Correct.
So your testimony here today is you didn't do that, you just documented your work through photographs.
Other individuals documented it. Mine were through the photographs.
Yeah, your work. So
Yes.
your work was done through these photographs.
Correct.
All right, okay, cool. So I want to make sure that, make sure we're not missing anything with
No, sir.
reports or anything like that. Okay. So let's talk about your job as because it sounds like you were a firearms instructor before you were a crime scene investigator.
So, and I say crime scene investigator, I'm a ranger. We usually process most of our crime scenes. So not a crime scene investigator, but more as a ranger. That's one of our duties.
So like dual purpose, you're multitasking, it would be fair to say that you are investigating, but you're also processing the scene yourself.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Whereas I guess sort of what would happen sometimes, a local PD will come and patrol officers or detective will come to a scene and they will call in crime scene folks and they will process the scene.
Correct. As a ranger, we usually do our own.
You can't do both. So when did you specialise in the firearms, before or after you started doing more of the crime scene stuff? Or was it
Before.
Before. So let's talk about that for a second. So I wanted to, and Judge, may I approach the demonstrative?
Yes.
Can I talk about some of the things we discussed earlier with the prosecutor? And this demonstrative that you used earlier, can you see that there? Can you see that there, Ray?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, cool. So this round here on this demonstrative, I think it states 2, right? This, I'm on the left here, I'm indicating on the left. You'll move it so the court reporter can see it. That's what we're talking about. So this would indicate, this is a hugely magnified diagram.
Yes, sir.
This isn't a real projectile or round of ammunition, is it?
No.
It's a diagram.
Yes,
right?
sir.
But on the bottom here, the end of the round, the cap, if you call it right, it says 9mm.
Correct.
Right, and that would indicate a round or a projectile that gets fired from a smaller weapon, a handheld weapon.
Correct. Yes,
Right,
sir.
because I don't want you to show me, but you're probably armed today.
Yes, sir.
Right. And what kind of sidearm do you carry?
357.
357, and that is
It's a little bit larger than what this would be.
so that's what I was going. It's a self-loading pistol,
Yes, sir.
right? But that is you wear that on your hip,
Yes, sir.
right? And so that's probably the only weapon you're wearing right now.
Correct.
But if you address tactically, that would be your secondary,
Correct.
right? So that would be your backup weapon,
Correct.
right? And your primary weapon would be a long arm.
If I had a long arm at that time, yes, sir.
If you were doing any kind of tactical work, and the idea of that is you can shoot longer with that,
Correct.
right? And it's more accurate.
Yes.
And if that fails, you ditch it and you go for your secondary,
Correct.
which is your pistol
pistol.
on the hip.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's the kind of round that we're talking about here on your diagram,
Correct.
right? It's not the kind of rounds that Mr. Turner showed you. Where are they, Ben? Did you put them there? In States Exhibit 2012.
Correct. The concept is the same.
Yeah.
Just a different type of
And
weapon.
so the jury can see that these are a different caliber, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
223, can't be fired through a handgun, but the principle is exactly the same,
Yes, sir.
right? Although this, because it would have these ones, you can see that in 12, this has more powder.
Correct.
So because you said earlier, and we'll go back to the diagram here. Can you see it? Oh, you can't see it. So let me shut it. I'm trying to get these out without handling them. I feel very... I'll handle them. Do you mind if I touch them?
I don't mind.
So Nico's going to show the jury the rounds there. So you'd agree, I guess, these are longer than a normal 9mm round, which is what's portrayed here.
Correct,
So
yes,
that,
sir.
that round is fired out of a longer barreled weapon.
Yes, sir.
Right, I'll say round, a round of ammunition.
Correct.
Because that right now is a cartridge. So this is a round of ammunition,
Yes, sir.
right? This thing here is the projectile.
Yes, sir.
Right, the bit on the end. That gets, this primer gets struck by the firing pin,
Yes, sir.
right? You pull the trigger, the spring squeezes, eventually the firing pin goes forward and it strikes this pin.
Correct.
And you quite rightly said people think it creates an explosion,
Yes.
and it's really like a very fast burn,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
And
That's what ignites the gunpowder.
ignites the gunpowder in this cartridge and forces the projectile out of the barrel,
Correct.
right? And so this cartridge is the thing that carries the charge or the powder.
Correct.
The longer the charge or the cartridge, the faster it travels.
Should be.
And
Yes.
if you add that to a barrel, which makes it spin, it's even more deadly, right? That projectile
Correct.
is even
More
deadly.
accurate. Yes, sir.
More accurate. It can travel faster, and it can travel further distances.
Yes, sir.
So that round there is now potentially in the right weapon is much more dangerous than a round fired out of like a 9mm weapon.
It's going to be more powerful.
More
Yes, sir.
powerful, so therefore more dangerous. More power equals more velocity.
Correct.
More velocity equals more speed.
Yes.
More speed means more danger.
Potentially. Yes, sir.
Right, potentially. So, and then what happens with these is that the round gets fired and the projectile gets thrown out the end of the barrel, right, gets pushed, spirals down the barrel, and then goes towards its target,
Correct.
okay? And then the weapon recycles.
Yes,
Talked
sir.
about it earlier. So the weapon will cycle, the receiver or some of the action will go forward, then come backwards on itself.
Correct.
And that's what throws the ejected cartridge out.
Correct.
Because I just want to clear that up. So it throws, and depending on the ejector that's inside the weapon itself, that depends where that cartridge goes.
Based on the fact that
Cartridge goes, but yes, that is. It grabs that basically and throws it out.
Because some weapons have slightly different individual characteristics.
Correct.
They have like general characteristics, but that's how you can tell. Because sometimes there will be markings on the rounds and on the cases that you can say this has been fired by this weapon.
Correct.
And sometimes that is the ejector. Right?
Yes.
Because the weapon fires, recycles, and as it's coming back, it hits the ejector pin or whatever you want to call it, and it fires the round out.
Correct.
And generally, most of these weapons are they're recycled to the right.
Yes.
Because I guess
Most of the ones that I've been involved with, yes.
and I'm assuming maybe you tell us it's probably because most people are right-handed, right?
Correct.
Because it fires away from the firer's face.
Correct.
But sometimes, so generally, rounds when they're fired from a long-barreled weapon or a handgun go to the right.
That's the intention.
That's
Yes,
the
sir.
intention. Because it keeps away from the firer's face.
Correct.
That'd be no good for military or law enforcement.
Exactly.
It goes away to the right, but sometimes it'll go backwards.
Correct.
So there's no real science, there's no real way of accurately saying, does it go backwards or just sideways?
Correct.
But what we can agree with is that round is more dangerous than one of these.
Potentially, yes, sir.
Yeah, and so therefore that weapon is.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And so, because you must do some tactical stuff as well, by the sounds of it.
Yes.
And so when you deploy tactically, what equipment do you have?
A pistol and a rifle.
So you have your pistol is your secondary, or your
Correct.
backup. What kind of rifle do you carry?
A 223.
Okay, and so what range is that accurate over, generally?
It could go from long distance, but I would say anywhere from, from 50 yards to 100, 200, 250 yards.
And I guess it depends on how good your training is, right? But
Correct.
What other equipment would you have on you?
A bulletproof vest. Potential you might have a helmet on.
Yeah. And so let's talk about your vest. So I mean, the deputies in the room now are wearing vests, right?
Yes.
And vests come in different types,
Correct.
right? So there's a general bulletproof vest, which is generally made of Kevlar, right?
Yes, sir.
and I guess they are mostly rated against probably stab-proof and smaller rounds.
I don't know about the stab proof, but the smaller rounds, yes, sir.
Yeah, generally speaking, they're probably not going to stop something like that,
Generally, no.
right? And that's kind of, I guess you might agree with me that that's general police issue is a Kevlar vest, probably what the deputies are wearing here today, that will stop a smaller round, which is the one we were looking at there.
Yes, sir.
It'll stop one of those. It won't stop one of those.
Usually not, depending on that vest, but yes, sir, typically.
Probably not, right? You wouldn't trust it. would you?
No.
No. And so in order to do that, you need to put something inside the vest, right?
Yes.
It's normally a Kevlar plate.
A plate.
So you'd probably take your body armor off. You know, sometimes they've got spaces for you to put the plates in them.
Yes, sir.
Right, so you'd have to take your armor off, open it up, put the plate in it, right?
At some point, but they usually stay with it most of the time.
Unless you stays with it. And if you're doing a dual purpose thing, you've got your normal vest on, right?
Yes,
you
sir.
could have your plates in your bag, in a go bag in your vehicle, right?
It depends on that individual, yes, sir.
But you probably have plates in yours.
Yes.
Yeah, because otherwise, you know, you wouldn't want to risk your life with that, right? Otherwise,
Correct.
Yeah, of course. And that's is that the stuff you had on you that day when you were in Del Rio and you got this call?
Once I didn't have a helmet on.
You didn't have it. Well, you didn't have it on, but you said you just finished a deployment or something. You had shorts.
Correct.
But you have your equipment available to you.
Yes, yes, sir.
Right, and that's the equipment you had with you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because, so, you testified that you were in, I think you said you were in Del Rio
Yes.
at the time this came in.
Yes, sir.
Or you became aware, right? Because you became aware that there was an incident developing,
Correct.
I'm assuming. So, and that's either through radio or telephone communication.
I was at the office and somebody had walked up to me and said, "Hey, we've heard that there's an active shooter there at Uvalde. Are you going?" And of course, yes.
Right. And so, because you're a law enforcement officer,
Yes, sir.
right? And you're aware that there's this. Well, you're aware now. At the time, did you say there was an active shooter? Is that what you said?
Yes.
So you know that you hadn't seen that with your own eyes,
Correct.
but you know what an active shooter means.
Yes.
And if that, in fact, as we now know, this horrific thing happened, actually was an active shooter thing, situation, but you were in Del Rio, and there's nothing you could do about it.
Sure, but it's still going to respond.
No, of course, but what I'm saying is you were aware in Del Rio. When
Yes.
somebody said to you, you know, Lieutenant, there is this situation going on, you've got to go,
Yes.
right? And you did in fact go,
Yes.
and it's an hour away
Yes.
from Del Rio to Uvalde.
Yes, sir.
And all the way there, you're probably receiving more information,
As much as we could.
as much as you could. And
Sure.
we're not talking about the communications piece, that's for later on. But you receive more and more information, I would imagine, right?
Yes.
As you traveled from your base to the scene.
Yes.
So you're aware of the gravity of this situation.
Yes.
Now it's developing.
Yes.
But being aware of it doesn't mean you can do anything.
Correct, because I wasn't there at the time.
Because
Yes, sir.
otherwise, because that would make no sense at all, right?
That
Because
I was in Del Rio and received the information, but I had to do something then.
Yeah, just because
to
you're
stop
aware. You made you aware because you're a law enforcement officer, whether you're off or on duty, really, right?
Yes, sir.
And so just because you're aware of this incident, you can't do anything about it.
Not at that time. No,
That
sir.
can't be the standard, right? Being aware of it.
Can you ask that question again? I'm sorry.
Well, just because you're aware of this situation is going on, you can't do anything to act because you know about it
Correct, until I can get there.
until you can see it,
Yes.
right? And that might sound like a silly question, but
No,
wanted to
I
clear it
understand.
up. And so I think that you said that when you got to the scene, it was, would you agree it was chaotic?
That's the word I was fixing to use. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a polite way to put it, right? Did you review any other reports or anything describing the scene?
No.
Because when I'm thinking about a word you might be thinking about using, but it was chaotic.
Very chaotic. Yes, sir.
And so, which is not unusual in this kind of incident, right?
Well, it was the first one that I had responded to, but I mean, it's just very chaotic would be the precise word that I would use for it.
Well, let's just talk about that for a second, because you've got all that experience, right? And this is and lots and lots of training.
Yes, sir.
Right? And this is the first one you've ever been.
Yes, sir.
I mean, pray that no one ever has to go to another one ever again.
Oh, 100%.
But even with your training and your, I mean, not making light of it, you've got nearly a quarter of a century of firearms training.
Yes, sir.
Most of that as an instructor,
Yes, sir.
right? Where you train, right?
Yes.
Or where you get initial training,
Yes.
right, in basic stuff. You get basic tactical training, basic weapons.
Yes, sir.
Then you've built on that, and you've got more advanced training,
Yes, sir.
okay? And you trained on that,
Yes.
and you practice it,
Yes.
and you practice it
Yes, sir.
to become efficient
Yes, sir.
and to become proficient.
Yes, sir.
So when you're called to use these skills, they're second nature,
Yes, sir.
right? Because finish my sentence for me, if you would. If you don't use it, you
Lose it.
if you don't use it, you lose it. That's right. So you have to train these skills and hone them and practice them for them to be second nature. So when something happens, you don't have to pause and think memory files. What's going on? What am I supposed to do now? Right?
Correct.
Because what I'm going on to is you said that while you're at the scene, the BORTAC team breached the classroom.
Correct.
Right. Now, tell me if you know, that's the Border Patrol tactical team,
Correct.
right? And I don't know, they're a very well trained bunch,
Yes.
right? And they're very proficient at what they do,
Yes, sir.
and they're very well equipped.
Yes.
And again, if you know, we could probably assume that they practice a lot,
Yes.
they train a lot.
I would suspect so.
So when they operate, they almost don't need to communicate with each other.
Correct.
To some extent.
Yes, sir.
But they're so well rehearsed, they get faced with a situation, they know what to do.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, that is what indeed happened here,
Yes, sir.
right? Eventually, when the BORTAC team arrived, they were the ones who breached and ended this situation, right?
Correct.
But you'd agree the difference, the qualities of the BORTAC folks are that all that training, lots and lots of training, lots and lots of practice in order to be able to do that.
Correct.
And they're properly equipped, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you'd agree that in order to do some sort of breach like the one that you're talking about, someone has got to be properly equipped.
Well, you would love for that to happen.
Ideally, that's how you would train. Right?
Ideally, yes, sir.
Training says doing things properly equipped.
Correct.
Because we live in the world of health and safety and stuff like that now, right? So you have to.
Sure, so you're going to respond without the helmet and the vest and stuff like that.
Yeah, but so the BORTAC team, they were armed with long weapons.
I believe so.
Yeah, and what I mean long weapons are, you know what I mean? Move around the wall. Let's do it anyway. Like a long arm.
Yes.
Like the one you found in. You'll find it in a minute. And a pistol.
Yes, sir.
Properly rated vests.
Yes.
And a shield. So they're the ones got there and did that. Right. And so that's what happened there. So and I'm assuming that this has all gone on, and once that's happened and been cleared, that's when you can move over to your duties of collecting evidence and documenting the scene and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah, you wouldn't do this while that was going on.
No, sir.
So after that had happened, this is when you got deployed to do this.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Right. But that wasn't the only thing you did in this case. You said you did some interviews, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about these photographs first. If you just give me 1 second, I want to. And you're on my approach with this?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I just want to talk to you about a couple of them. So we mentioned, I'll go get my notes, that you took a photograph. There was some evidence inside the vehicle that indicated the ownership, right?
Yes, sir.
And I think it's 63.
Or who had insurance of the vehicle?
Yeah, well, maybe possession of the vehicle, right? And let's
Yes,
find
sir.
63. Did you confirm that was?
Through the photographs.
says 63 or 53.
Just tell them.
Oh, there you go. State 63. I can't read that. Can you read that? You probably can't read one of these.
No, I can't read it.
Okay, but you tried to ascertain whose vehicle it was, right?
Yes, sir, because through the photographs, we could always zoom in if we needed to see who that individual is.
We now know who was driving that vehicle, right?
Yes.
Yeah, who's that?
I don't know his name.
You don't know his name?
No, sir.
Yeah. And there's 64, state 60. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, yeah. And then 64 is a cell phone, right?
Yes, sir.
Around that. Do you know whose cell phone that was?
I don't know his name.
You know now, right?
No, I don't know his name.
You don't know his name?
No, sir.
You'd agree it's the guy who's responsible for this shooting, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Ranger. Hold on. I was gonna... Might be able to publish some of them on the screen. That would make it easier than me standing there, right? I mean, so this individual that you, I mean, generally speaking, this, from what you found, you know, do you know how many rounds of ammunition you found in that vehicle, in that bag,
No, sir.
approximately?
No, sir, because we didn't unload those magazines, so I don't know. A bunch.
Yeah, a bunch,
Hundreds.
like a lot. So hundreds. That's where I was going. I mean,
Yes, sir.
there was this person, whoever was driving this vehicle, had another, you know, fairly high-powered semi-automatic rifle with hundreds of rounds of ammunition.
Potentially, yes, sir.
Right. And it looks, possibly from looking at this evidence, that person may have been firing that weapon inside the vehicle.
Or around the vehicle.
Or around the vehicle, because there are spent casings inside it.
Yes.
And so you took those photographs, and that's where your part of this investigation ended there at the scene with the truck, right?
Correct.
But I think that you also said, because we spoke earlier about your reports, right? And you said that you did some interviews
Yes.
of school people,
Yes.
school employees.
Correct.
And that wasn't that day, right?
No, sir. This is for the weeks, or for a week probably, every
Yeah.
day for the next week or so.
So how long after this incident do you think you did these? What I'm getting at is, what was the time span? Was it the next day? Was it a week later?
So the next day I was dealing with returning property back to agencies who had just left their equipment. So I dealt with that. And then after that, it was more of dealing with, I had to go to the hospital the day of, right after this. Not for myself, but as part of the investigation. And then it was more a list of individuals who were employed at the school, officers that responded. So we broke that up and started conducting interviews. So those are the interviews that I had done.
And so you spoke to a lot of school district employees. I'm not talking about Adrian, I'm talking about staff at the school district, right?
Correct.
And you spoke to all kinds of people, right?
Correct.
From coaches, I guess.
I don't believe it was more of staff, principal, secretaries, and then officers that responded.
And Ranger, I guess you would agree with me that your investigation showed a practice or a pattern of staff defeating the locks at the school, right?
Correct.
What I mean by that is there was a policy in place in the school district for the doors to be locked, the exterior doors to be locked.
Correct.
And for the interior doors of classrooms to be locked.
Correct.
Right. And they were fitted, I guess you'd agree with me, with what has been called a lot of these doors, through your investigation, they're called Columbine doors, right?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. But they were fitted with doors that can only be locked from the outside.
Correct.
And there's a purpose for that, right?
From Maya, from the
Yeah.
individuals that I spoke to, the purpose for that was so a student couldn't lock a teacher outside the door.
Okay, right, and but that's a valid purpose, right? But what you know through your law, because you've been a firearms instructor for 24 years, right? You were around just after Columbine in 1999, and you've done lots of training in active shooters.
Yes, sir.
Scenarios, right? And one of the reasons that those doors are supposed to lock is so that people like the person who committed this unspeakable act can't gain access to the building,
Yes, sir.
because if it's locked, presumably they don't have access to the keys.
It'd be harder to get into the school. Yes, sir.
Yep, if it's locked, you can't get in through a locked door without breaching it,
Correct.
right? Because these doors are pretty substantial.
Yes, sir.
They're metal.
Yes, sir.
You've got metal frames.
Yes, sir.
So if you were to go and you would need, and your team would need special equipment to get into that.
Correct.
So the reason they're locked is so that a kid can't play a prank on their teachers, right?
Sure.
But also for more sinister reasons to prevent things like this happening.
Correct.
Right? And that's just the external doors.
Yes, sir. I was
And
speaking
internal.
about the ones inside the classroom.
But
or at the
external
classroom.
and internal, right?
Yes.
But your investigation showed a pattern of staff defeating these locks.
Based on the interviews I had done, yes,
Yeah.
sir, there were staff that wouldn't always lock the inside doors.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. But your investigation showed that the school had magnets that they could place on the doors to defeat the locks,
Correct.
and they would give them out to staff.
Now that I don't know.
But they,
I know there were some teachers that utilized those. Now, do I know if the school gave those out? I don't know anything about that.
you don't recall being told that these magnets were given to substitute teachers because they wouldn't be able to get in and out with passes.
Very true. Yes, sir. But your normal staff, no. But substitute teachers, so because they weren't given a key to the classroom, they would be given those.
And I know you're, I think you're probably aware there was a policy that was against the school policy.
I would suspect so.
Yeah. Thank you, Angela. Yeah, and so just, thank you, Jason. So just to confirm that your investigation revealed that there was a pattern of leaving these doors unlocked.
Yes.
There was a pattern of defeating the door locks with magnets,
Yes, sir.
right? And on this day when you were there, you now know that these doors were in fact all unlocked.
At the time, I was under the same impression as everybody else that the door was locked, and come to find out that I've been told, based off of that crime scene investigation, that that door was unlocked.
Well, let's just talk about that for a second. So we'll deal with the end of it first, right? So now, through your investigation, I appreciate your candor, Ranger, that we now know that those doors are all unlocked.
I know that one door was unlocked.
The one on the west, right?
Yes.
Is that one you're referring to?
The door, I don't know what classroom door that
You know
is.
my approach was.
Yes.
Just very briefly, just to clarify something.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm going to show you what's this next one. And this is the demonstrative of the scene, right?
Yes, sir.
And this is the school.
Correct.
And this is the new building or the west building, as it's called, right? And you'd agree this is the south door.
Correct.
When you say we know that the door, you said the door was unlocked, we're talking about this west one.
No, sir. I was talking about the inside door.
Oh, the inside door to the classrooms?
Correct.
Yeah, they were locked. Do you also, they were unlocked, sorry.
One of those that I know of was unlocked.
Did you know that one of the door locks wasn't even working?
No, sir.
You didn't know that?
No, sir.
Right.
I take it back. I knew that they had been having problems with one of them because they had reported it to maintenance, that one of the doors was not working.
And nothing had been done about it, right?
Correct.
So the school knew that that door wouldn't open, that wouldn't lock,
That they were having issues with it, yes, sir.
right? And it had been reported to maintenance,
That's what I had been
and nothing had
advised.
been done about it.
Correct.
But it was supposed to be locked,
Yes, sir.
but it was unlocked. Do you also know through investigation now, I guess you can agree, that the external doors were also unlocked?
Not on, based on my investigation, but based off of information I had heard, yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate it. Pass the witness, Judge.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to start with this whole idea about the common pattern of defeating these Columbine doors being the magnets.
You're going to have to ask that question a different way. I'm
Fair
sorry.
enough. I believe the defense asked you about the common practice of using magnets.
I don't know about Columbine, but I'd heard that there had been individual teachers that were using magnets, so the
Okay.
doors would not lock.
I just used the word Columbine because he used that for the name lock. I'll back off of that. The whole issue is pattern of using magnets so door wouldn't lock.
Yes, sir.
Door locking is a safety precaution
Correct.
to protect, I believe the defense said, from things like this happening.
Correct.
And school district police officers are also employed to keep things like this from happening
Yes, sir.
and provide security
For the students, yes, sir, and staff.
and determine whether or not there was a common practice not to lock doors.
I'm going to object. That calls for speculation, Judge.
This is what his training has been, Your Honor.
I'll rule the objection. You can answer if you know.
I don't know.
You don't know if...
They would know that there is a common practice going on. Would they be aware of that? You would suspect that if they are there at that campus, that they'd be aware of that.
That a school district police officer, you would suspect they would know if there's a common practice of defeating the locks with magnets.
Yes, sir.
And whose job would it be then to correct that?
The staff or that officer.
In charge of the security,
Correct.
to keep that from happening.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any indication that any of the school district police officers corrected the problem, the common problem, of using magnets to defeat the locks?
No, sir, I didn't interview any of those individuals.
And Adrian Gonzalez was a school district police officer?
I don't know Adrian Gonzalez.
I'd like to also speak to you about the casings you found inside the car.
Yes.
And just to be clear, the casing could end up inside the car because the weapon was fired inside the car
It could.
and the casing ejected.
Yes, sir.
But if a window is broken out, can a casing escape a weapon outside the car and enter the car?
Sure. Yes, sir.
And was there a window broken out in this case?
Yes.
In this vehicle?
Front passenger window.
So it would be completely consistent with being just outside the car for two casings to end up inside the car?
It could. Yes, sir.
And I wanted to talk to you also about the suggestion about to do anything about it, you need to see it, right?
You would have to be present.
Present. You were in Del Rio.
Yes.
You couldn't do anything about it in Del Rio.
Correct.
So what did you do?
Responded.
What does responded mean?
I went to that location.
To do something about it,
Yes.
if needed.
Yes.
And you got to that location,
Yes.
and fortunately you weren't needed at that point.
Correct.
But if you get to a location and you can't see an active shooter, but you can hear an active shooter, what do?
You respond to that location.
Go to see it?
To work, not just to see it, but to respond and to initiate whatever you can do to stop it.
So an active shooting, and you hear shooting, to do something about it, you go to it.
Correct.
You don't look for cover.
Correct.
But we talked about equipment. If you don't have your helmet on, then it's okay to look for cover, right?
No, sir.
If you don't have your rifle but only a sidearm, it's okay to look for cover, isn't it?
No,
I'm
sir.
going to object to leading, Judge.
It's the same.
What are the limitations, if you explain to the jury, what are the limitations about going to shots fired in an active shooter situation?
There's not a limitation.
There's not a limitation?
I wouldn't say so.
The rule is what?
to engage, to stop the
Actors.
killing.
Pass the witness.
Briefly, if I may, we talked, so I just want to clear up a couple of things we talked about there, Ranger. So you interviewed several staff at the school, even the principal.
Yes.
Even the principal told you that they would defeat these locks without magnets, right?
I can't remember which individual said, but based off the interviews I had conducted, now if she had said that, that's a possibility. I just don't remember which individual told me that.
If I represent you, you spoke to Principal Gutierrez, right?
Yes.
If I represent you that she told you that, would you have a reason to doubt me?
No, sir.
No, I appreciate that. But nevertheless, there was a pattern of practice of leaving these doors open,
Yes.
leaving them unlocked.
Unlocked.
That's what I mean. When I say open, I mean unlocked,
Yes.
which is a safety issue, right?
Yes.
Okay. And part of that safety thing is to prevent something like this from happening.
Correct.
Right. And so the prosecutor just asked you about school police officers and their duties. Right. Now you investigated this incident. Right. You know through your investigation that Adrian wasn't assigned to this school.
I don't know anything about Adrian.
No. But all right, let me ask you a different question then. You know there was no officer assigned to that school.
No, sir. I don't know anything
No,
about
no.
the officers at the school.
Through your investigation, you didn't know that?
No, because mine was compartmentalized to specific things.
Right, okay. But if there wasn't a school resource officer assigned to that school, then it'd be difficult for that non-existent school resource officer to report things to the school, right? That make sense?
If he had never been there, then no, he wouldn't know that.
Right. No further questions. Thank you, Ranger.
No further questions?
Recall, either side.
We don't need to recall him, Your Honor.
Subject to recall, please, Your Honor.
Okay, Ranger, the rule's been invoked. I think you're familiar with that. Please don't discuss the case with anyone. Be available for recall. And once again, when you know the case is over with and the rule is over, you can talk about it.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next witness.
Justin Duck. These are the other five.
Which ones are these? Oh, did they go in?
The ditch. The other five photographs that you objected to earlier. Who did object to them?
Listen. When was this?
What?
Who's this one?
Justin Duck. He just did the subsequent section.
All right, if you raise your right hand, please, you do solemnly swear the evidence of the testimony given in this cause is the truth. I do, sir. Have a seat there and adjust that microphone, make it comfortable, and speak up so everyone can hear you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Would you tell us what your name is?
My name is Justin Duck.
Justin Duck, what do you do for a living?
I'm a captain with the Texas Department of Public Safety.
And where do you work?
I work at Austin headquarters for DPS.
Okay. How long have you worked there?
A little over 19 years now.
And could you just give us a brief history of what you've done there?
Yeah, so I started in 2006 as a Texas Highway Patrol Trooper out of Houston. In 2012, I promoted into the Criminal Investigations Division, where we investigated forgery, fraud, motor vehicle theft, and violations of the Texas Racing Act. In 2016, I promoted into the Texas Rangers, which is the major investigative branch of the Department of Public Safety. In 2024, I promoted into the Office of Inspector General as a lieutenant, and there's basically the internal affairs of DPS. And in earlier this year, or late or mid 2025, I promoted into my current position in the Human Resources Operations Division.
And back in 2022, what were you doing?
I was a Texas Ranger stationed out of the Waco area.
Out of the where?
Waco area.
And did you end up in Uvalde around May 24th or soon thereafter of 2022?
Yes, sir, I did.
How did you end up doing that?
In my time in the Rangers, I was part of the crime scene investigation team, and so when the shooting happened on May the 24th, we were activated and told to respond to Uvalde.
And when did you respond?
May the 24th.
And how long a drive is that?
You know, I don't recall exactly, but it was several hours from Waco.
Okay. And were you given an assignment on searching a truck?
Yes.
And tell us about that.
So the morning of May the 25th would be the following morning. I was assigned to process a 2008 Ford F-150 that had been wrecked into the drainage ditch just south of Geraldine and South Grove there next to Uvalde, or I'm sorry, next to the Robb Elementary School.
And we've just looked at photographs of May 24th when the truck is in a nice, clean ditch, correct?
Yes, sir.
And did anything change about that?
Yes, sir. The night of the 24th, it rained, and so the ditch filled with water.
And how did that complicate your work?
Well, any evidence that would have been immediately around the outside of the truck, it was now covered in water and difficult to locate.
And so did y'all just give up?
No, sir.
Tell us what you did.
We searched the truck and the area around the truck, and we found numerous items both in the water and inside the vehicle.
How'd you do that?
Well, we had to put our rubber boots on to get into the water.
Okay. And what did you recover?
From the water next to the truck, we recovered a duffel bag with a rifle and 6 loaded magazines.
And did you recover were any spent casings recovered either that day or the next?
Yes, sir. So the day of the 25th, there were 2 spent casings or fired cartridges located inside the 2008 Ford pickup, one near the rear passenger door and one near the front passenger door on the floor. Ranger Cody Allen also recovered a fired cartridge from underneath the water there next to the truck. Just by feeling around by feel, he located one. And then on May the 27th, Ranger Scott Swick, after the water had receded a little, went out and found a 4th fired cartridge.
So over a 3-day period, y'all end up recovering a total of 4 spent casings?
Yes.
Either in the truck or close by it?
Yes, sir.
And that's from just searching with your hands into the mud, and then thereafter, as it recedes, another casing is recovered?
Yes, sir.
And have you had a chance to look at photographs of those 2 searches?
Yes.
And are they fair and accurate depictions of the search?
Yes.
State now offers Exhibit 76 through 80. Yeah.
You said 76 to 80.
Through 84, 76 through 84, Your Honor. Sorry.
No objection, Judge.
May we display those to the jury, Your Honor?
Yes.
Ranger Duck, if you'll look behind your left shoulder. Can you tell us what we're looking at here?
That's going to be the right side of the 2008 Ford F-150 as it's set in the drainage ditch in the water.
So that shows what happened to you overnight of the 24th and the morning then of the 25th.
Yes, sir.
And that's where y'all searched around in that water and were able to recover at least 1 casing that morning. Is that correct?
We recovered 2 more from inside the truck, but 1 from the water.
You actually picked up the casings inside the truck?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And Exhibit 77. Is that a fair and accurate depiction of the condition of the drainage ditch that y'all searched?
Yes, sir.
And 78. You can tell us what we're looking at here.
Yes, sir. That's going to be the front right of the pickup truck there sitting in the water, and you'll be able to see Ranger Cody Allen's feet there as he's digging into the water.
And front right, that would be the front passenger side? Right
Yeah.
is passenger side?
Yes, sir.
And that's the general location where something was recovered?
Yes.
And Exhibit 79?
And that's going to be Ranger Allen with the spent cartridge in his hand, too.
That's as he brings it up?
Yes, sir.
It's photographed?
Yes,
Would you
sir.
point that out to the jury where it is? You're welcome, just walk over there. And was that a live cartridge or spent casing?
That was a spent casing, yes, sir.
Thank you. And then there was a subsequent search of the ditch the next day, is that correct?
It would have been on the 27th.
27th, 2 days later?
Yes, sir.
And have the water receded to some degree?
Yes.
And on the bank there, is there a cartridge?
Yes.
Would you point that out also for the jury?
Yes.
Thank you. And then the photograph zooms up on that, and it's a little bit more evident that it's a cartridge, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And y'all attach evidence tags to cartridges
Yes.
and states Exhibit 2, is that what you're doing here?
Yes, that's Ranger Scott Zwick holding the number 39 next to the fired cartridge.
And states Exhibit 83,
It's going to be same photo, just zoomed in.
and 84.
Same cartridge, just with a picture of the head stamp.
And the head stamp is for what purpose?
I wanted to make sure that we could identify that later on if we needed to, by brand or whatever.
And was that brand LC 223?
LC22 is what it's stamped to, yep.
Thank you. May I approach? Showing you Exhibits 11 and 13, all those two casings that were recovered in the ditch.
Yes.
Continue to the defense and offer no evidence.
Judge Mack, who is on board, real quick?
All right, go ahead.
Ranger Doug, I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions. How long did it take for you guys to process this evidence?
You know, I don't know, we started shortly after 11 a.m. that morning, and I believe we released the truck late that afternoon, around 5 o'clock or so.
But there were rangers at the scene the day before. Is that a fair statement?
Yes,
Ranger Shea?
yes.
Was he doing, I mean, and I'm just saying, from this evidence, was this a specific duty you were assigned to do something different with these shells versus what he was doing?
You know, I don't know exactly what he was doing out there.
But you're saying all day of your investigation, this is the evidence that you retrieved from the truck?
No, that's not the only two items we received,
Okay,
we retrieved from the truck.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ranger.
Exhibits 11 and 13.
All right, if no further objection, then they're noted.
No objection, Judge.
That's the witness.
I should have waited. I'm sorry, Ranger.
That's okay.
My name is Nico LaHood,
Yes, sir.
and I'm one of the lawyers who represents Adrian. You've testified before, right?
Yes, sir.
First of all, you look too young to be on the force for 19 years.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it.
So, I started asking you during the voir dire, but I should have waited till now. So were you not coordinating with Ranger Shea? You know Ranger Shea, correct?
I do, yeah, I know Jason Shea. Yes, sir.
And who assigned you to do what you did on the 27th?
I want to say I got this assignment from Ranger Brent Barina, who was the crime scene team lead the following day, on the morning of the 25th.
And was that ranger in charge of dispensing assignments to you and Ranger Shea and everyone else?
I think so, yeah.
How many rangers total investigated this scene?
This particular scene?
Yes, sir.
Jason was there the day of, on the 24th. Nick Hill, Cody Allen, and myself were there on the 25th. And then there were I don't know exactly how many, but some other rangers went back after the waters had receded to check one more time on the 27th.
And so excuse if I asked you this, but what was your specific assignment?
I was to assist in processing this truck for evidence.
And when you say processing, 'cause that's a term of art in investigations, right?
Yes.
Will you explain to the jury what processing means?
Sure. So we're going to be looking for any evidence that's in there that we could recover, and then two, we did some swabbing of DNA and things like that.
And if I can ask, why wasn't this done the first day?
You know, I don't know. I don't know that.
But you know that Ranger Shea was there the the day before you, or sometime before you?
I do, yeah.
Because it's been entered into evidence, we saw these spent shell casings that Ranger Shea took.
I know that he took some photographs the day before on the 24th, yes, sir.
What did you review before your testimony today?
I reviewed my reports. Nick Hill had a report of all the evidence that we collected, and then I reviewed the photographs that we just went over.
And was your report part of a bigger report, or did you have an individual report?
I had one supplement or a couple of supplements within a larger investigative file.
Judge, pursuant to 612 and 615, I'm assuming, is that all part of the discovery that we were given?
Yes.
Okay. And so this was, you didn't have, we don't have a live suspect at this time, obviously, right?
Not that we're aware of at this particular time.
Well, the person responsible for the injuring those children had passed. You're aware of that at the time?
Yes, yes.
And so you're collecting evidence not for a criminal investigation, just for what?
Well, at that particular time, yes, the individual that wrecked the truck there was deceased, but at that particular time, I don't know that we knew if he had any other help.
Okay, but that's where I was going.
Yes, sir.
So it wasn't sure if he had anybody else helping him to assist in this evil act.
At that particular time, we didn't know that.
Do you know how long it took for you guys to realize that he was acting alone?
No, sir, I do not.
Now, did you recover full magazines? I think you testified 6 loaded magazines.
From the bag, the duffel bag that was on the ground. Yes, sir.
And that's, most people call those clips, but we know that's a magazine where you put the rounds in,
Yes, sir.
and you enter into the weapon, you chamber it, and then you can shoot a weapon.
Yes.
And did you check whether they were fully loaded or not?
I did not. Someone else did.
Do you know who did?
No.
Do you know if they were fully loaded?
I couldn't tell if they had, 28 or 30 in there. I couldn't tell, but they appeared to be loaded.
And typical magazines for a weapon like this usually carry up to 30 rounds, correct?
Yes.
So this was potentially 180 rounds, potentially.
Yes.
And so you could fit a .223 round in that, into that magazine,
Yes.
or a .556?
Yes.
Can you explain that to the jury, the difference? Because that kind of came up with Ranger Shea, that what rounds can fit in what magazines.
So generally, 223 and 556 are one and the same for most weapons.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Generally, 223 and 556 are somewhat interchangeable for most of those AR-style rifles.
On a revolver, it's kind of like a .357 and a .38.
38 special, yes.
.38 special, right? You can actually, you can only do a .38 and a .357. You can't do a .357 and a .38.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for that. What did you do with the evidence? Like, who were you reporting back to? What did you do with the evidence that you collected?
So the evidence I collected, I turned it over to Ranger Nick Hill, and then Ranger Nick Hill submitted it further from there.
Submitted it to whom?
I don't know exactly.
Okay. Did you do anything else further on in this investigation?
When I initially got there, I was in charge of documenting some of the bodies in the classrooms and helping get them to the transport vehicles. So we'd get them over to the medical examiner's office, and then after this, I was assigned in the kind of the evidence section, helping out there.
So there wasn't a conclusion to your portion. You just did what you were supposed to do, and then you passed it on.
Yes.
Thank you, Ranger. Pass the witness.
No further questions?
Is he subject to recall either side?
The state doesn't need to.
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, sir, the rule's been invoked, you know what that is. Please don't discuss the case with anybody until you know the case is over with and you've been released from the rule. You are subject to recalls, so please stay in touch with the state. Would you excuse for the time being? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll go ahead and give you your afternoon recess. Take 15 minutes. Please remember my instructions, and we'll see you back in 15. Would everyone please rise for the jury? Okay, you can be seated. We are in recess. Thank you. just so you, no contents, open, they're not open.
One's the key things?
Yeah, if they're not open.
Yeah, no.
Okay, could you raise your right hand for me, please? You do solemnly swear the evidence and the testimony given in the cause will be the truth, so help you God. Okay, go ahead and have a seat, make yourself comfortable. Adjust the microphone if you need to, and speak up for us. Thank you. Please.
Hello,
Could you tell us your name?
Stephanie Hill.
Ms. Hale, what do you do for a living?
Currently, I'm a marketing coordinator at the hospital in Uvalde.
Uvalde Hospital?
Yes,
How long have you been doing that?
since July.
And before that, what did you do?
I was a teacher.
Where were you a teacher?
Started in Cal Allen and then moved to Uvalde at Robb.
Okay, what did you do at Robb?
I was a third grade teacher.
At Robb Elementary School?
Yes, sir.
And was that true then, back on May 24, 2022?
Yes, sir.
Could you just tell us what that morning was like? What were y'all doing?
We had awards in the morning, and then we went back to the classroom, and it was a pretty relaxed day. Watched movies, had snacks, and then I don't know how far you want me to go into that. Okay.
So what is awards day?
It happened.
In for the kids?
Kind of, sort of, I guess. We have fun.
Okay. That's a day of fun?
Yes.
So when did y'all finish awards?
We had ours in the morning. It was, I couldn't really tell you, 9, maybe 9, between 9 and 10, I guess.
What did you do after the awards?
We went back to the classroom for a little bit, and then until it was time for them to go to rotation at the library.
So you went to the library after you were in the classroom,
Yes.
and then next what did you do?
After I dropped them off, I went to a math interventionist room in the 4th grade building and looked at some math manipulatives, and then until it was time to pick my kids up from the library, and I actually picked them up about 10-15 minutes early that day so we could have extra recess.
So you got them out early to go have recess?
Yes.
Where's recess?
On the playground, I'm going to say maybe the south side of the school.
Okay, we'll take a look at that in a minute.
Okay.
I just kind of want to walk through the day first, okay? So you got out, you were headed for the playground on the south side of the school.
Yes.
And tell me what happened then.
We stopped at the classroom first to grab lunch boxes, use the restroom, and then we were walking to the playground, and it sounded like the trash, the dumpster was picking up the trash, and I thought to myself, that's weird, they usually do that in the morning.
What do you mean it sounded like a dumpster picking up trash?
Like the dumpster truck, you know how it picks it up and it dumps all the trash. I don't know, it makes a loud noise to me, so that's what it sounded like.
So that's what you heard?
Yes, at first.
And so it didn't ring a bell as to a concern or raise a red
I mean, it was it was a little weird and odd, and I remember thinking to myself, that's strange, they usually do that in the morning. And then I just became, I guess, a little more aware of my surroundings.
Okay. Did you continue on to the playground?
Yes.
And did you get to the playground?
Yes.
And how long were you at the playground?
I'm not 100% sure, maybe 5 minutes,
A short
give or
period of
take.
time?
Yes, a short period of time.
What is it that disturbs your playground activity?
We heard sounds, and to me, I thought they were fireworks. That's what it sounded like. And then another teacher also said, that's kind of strange. And then I walked to, they had like bleachers in the middle of the playground so I could see my kids, and I didn't make it there until Coach Gonzalez picked up his radio and started yelling for us to get inside.
Okay. So the combination of hearing these fireworks and Coach Gonzalez, did you draw a conclusion from that?
Yes,
And what was that?
that there was gunfire.
Okay.
Something was wrong. You
So
could see by his
fireworks
face.
and Coach Gonzalez makes you think, not fireworks, guns.
Yes.
And
Or
as you were
something.
trying to get inside, was there anything else that indicated to you that wasn't fireworks?
Yes, we could, when we were standing there, the dirt was kind of, you could see the dirt cloud up, kind of coming towards us. And then as we were all running into the classroom, I saw I don't know what to call him, horrible person, walking.
Just take your time, we can hold on.
Sorry. Walking towards the door.
Can you describe him for us?
He had all black, long hair, and a gun.
You saw a gun. Can you describe that for us?
I mean, I'm not really a gun person, but it's long and black, so.
And about this dirt being, would you say plowed up? I need to understand that a little better.
Like I don't know if you drop something in dirt or sand, I guess, and it kind of makes a cloud, and then I don't know how else to explain it.
Okay, and did you see one of those clouds or more than one?
More than one.
More than one. And so how many children did you have with you?
In my personal class or all together?
Good question. Let's start with your class.
At the time, I wasn't 100% sure, but I think there was about 10 to 12 students.
With you?
Yes, the rest had left.
And there was another class out there?
There were several other classes on the playground.
At the time this puffing of dirt was going on?
Yes.
Do they all allowed to intermix them for that period
Yes.
of time? Okay. So the coach has given you instructions, you had your own confirmations, you actually see somebody with a gun. Pretty stressful?
Yes.
Did it prevent you from acting?
No.
What did you do?
I yelled to the kids to get in the classrooms. The second grade teachers had opened their doors to let us in. And I went to the first classroom and I stood outside the door to make sure everybody had gotten off the playground.
So you got through the door before all your kids did?
Not all of them, but yes.
And so but you didn't go in?
No.
And why is that?
To make sure they were safe and inside.
And did you make sure? Did you make sure they were all safe inside before you went inside?
Yes.
And so when you went inside, what did you do?
I went to the corner of the teacher's classroom and at that point noticed I had only about 2 to 3. Of my own students in there, and so realized that they were kind of spread out into other classrooms. And then,
Did that cause concern for you? Tell me about that.
I mean, you just worry, and I mean, I know that they were all in a classroom, but not knowing where or who they were with was concerning because they weren't with me.
So what did you do?
We sat there for a little bit and you could see we just kind of waited and tried to keep the kids calm. So we'd gone into a second grade classroom and a few of them were struggling to stay quiet. And
And what's the idea of staying quiet?
don't talk, don't move, be still.
Is that part of the training that y'all had?
Yes.
You had training to stay quiet under what situations?
They just a lockdown.
A lockdown? Just, would you go through with us then what a lockdown is and what you do?
So it's lock lights out of sight, you lock your doors, which should be, and then you turn the lights off and you're out of sight. You go somewhere in your classroom that is away from windows, doors, hidden as best you can.
And is that school-wide?
Yes.
So in a lockdown, if you go in any room, according to the lockdown procedures, the kids are going to be away from the door and away from the windows,
Yes.
in the dark
Yes.
and quiet.
Yes.
And you had a little trouble with people being quiet,
Yes.
and so what did you do?
I like army crawled around the floor under these second graders' desk, and I did breathing with them. You go trace your hand and you breathe in and out as you go up and down your fingers. So I did that to 2 students, help them calm as best they could.
So you learned a breathing technique
Yes.
to calm kids in stressful
I
situations?
mean, it's just a normal, I guess, teaching special ed, you learn, I guess, little tricks to help with anxiety and things like that.
Did it work?
Yes.
How quickly?
I couldn't give you an exact time.
Okay. Did you take any other action as you were waiting?
Yes, at one point the teacher, and I don't know her name, I feel so horrible, but I don't know her name. She had brought me a pair of scissors, and then there was another teacher in there. I don't know if I'm allowed to say her name. She also, we kind of like got together and just kind of came up with a plan.
What was the plan?
Do what we had to do, defend, keep quiet, wait until somebody came to get us.
And what were the scissors for?
I guess protection to fight if we needed to.
Okay. Under that stressful situation,
Yes.
you developed a plan
Yes.
to fight.
Defined?
To fight?
Yes.
And how about your kiddos?
They were doing the best they could to stay calm and quiet. They were doing what they were supposed to be doing. They had ended up getting safety scissors, I guess because they saw us with our scissors. They all got theirs. I didn't even notice until we got to the parking lot.
The kids all had safety scissors?
Mhm.
Mimicking you all.
I'm sorry?
Mimicking the teachers.
I assume so, yes.
That is preparing to defend yourselves.
Yes.
No, just objective leading.
Sustained.
How long were you in this position?
I don't recall. It was all very, I don't know.
What did you do while you were there?
Where, in the classroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Help the kids stay calm, was ready to go. At one point, we just made sure we followed the rules. At one point, the 2 other teachers we were with, or I was with, they couldn't remember if the door was locked or not, or they just weren't sure. And so I remember being on the opposite side of the classroom, and they were tying an extension cord up into the door. I don't know how to explain it, but there's like a triangular shape metal frame that helps it open, and they were tying an extension cord around it to try and make sure it was, I guess, secured the best it could be if the door wasn't locked.
Okay. And that was the other 2 teachers?
Yes.
At some point, you were relieved or you evacuated, is that
Yes.
correct? Tell us about that.
We kept hearing knocking on the door, and we were taught, don't answer the door, somebody will come in and get you. But after several knocking, like times knocking, and again, I was on the opposite side of the room, one of the teachers, she peeked open the curtain to see, I guess, who it was. And it was law enforcement. And so at that point, she opened the door. They came and said, we're going to move you guys to the parking lot. So once everybody's ready, we're all going to move quickly but safely to the parking lot and wait there.
And did you do that?
Yes.
And how did your day end then?
Got to the parking lot, and at that time I realized all the kids had scissors, so like, it's okay, we're okay. And I took all the scissors and had 2 big pockets. Both of my back pockets were full of scissors, and we sat there for a little bit and then ended up going to an empty field off of campus. And while we waited for buses, I still at this point didn't have all of my students, and so I gathered the ones that I did have, and I told them, stay here, we're not getting on this bus, and waited.
For what?
For the rest of my kids.
And did you get them?
Yeah.
And then where did the bus go?
It was a little bit of confusion, I guess. We went to the high school, or we were supposed to go to the high school, and then on the way there, the bus driver was just kind of going in circles, and then we were told that the high school was on lockdown, so we wouldn't be going there, and then we ended up going to the Civic Center.
The what?
The Civic Center.
Okay. And is that where the kids were reunited with their
Yes.
parents? Okay. Thank you. We've gone through your day, and I want to just kind of go through so we have an idea of where all of this occurred, okay?
Yes.
All we have is we have people on both sides, so it's real hard if we get in front for them to see what you're doing. So if you have to point at something, feel free to do that. I'll give you a second just to kind of familiarize yourself with State's Exhibit 1.
Okay.
Do you recognize State's Exhibit 1? And could you show us the perimeters then of Robb Elementary School? Okay. And so when you went to recess, where did you start?
I started here. Well, I was originally at the very beginning here in one of these classrooms, and then this is the library. So this is where I pick my kids up at.
Okay, let me ask, is the 4th grade wing there?
Yes.
Would you point out the 4th grade wing?
And the library just
The
holds.
4th grade wing, you point to it, it has 3 X's on it, is that correct?
Yes.
And then there's a building north of that, or is it still part of the 4th grade wing?
It's connected.
Excuse
It's part of it. It's connected.
Okay, and then so y'all had been in the library?
Yes.
Is it still somewhat part of the 4th grade wing?
It is in here. It's right here at the other entrance.
And you have to speak up a
I'm
little,
sorry,
because
at
now
the
you're
other
facing
entrance.
this way. So the library is where y'all had been,
Yes.
and then where did you go?
We walked, my classroom was on this wing right here, so we stopped.
Is that the second wing from the top?
Yes, it's wing B. So here's the main office parts, and then here's wing B. So we walked down this little sidewalk, went to the classroom, dropped stuff off, got our lunch boxes, and then followed the sidewalk all the way down. And it was about here that I heard the dumpster, what I thought was a dumpster. And then this is the playground. This is where we ended up at.
At that playground?
Yeah, and it's like this entire thing.
And is there another building right there at the bottom of the photograph that you were talking about?
Down here?
Right here?
That's the pavilion, the PE pavilion where they have the basketball court and where the kids.
Pavilion or pagoda?
Pavilion, I guess.
Okay. You call it a pavilion. And so where were the kids playing?
They were scattered throughout this entire area. There was several different pieces of equipment. They had, there was just tons for them to do, so they were spread out all through here.
All through and even behind the pavilion?
Oh, not this far. I would say they probably stop about here.
To the right, if I'm facing it?
Yes.
Okay, so could we go back then to where the Hillcrest Funeral Home is?
It's over here.
Right here?
Yes.
So from this position, what would be the line of sight to the pavilion?
From this
Yes,
right here, correct?
to that pavilion?
Yes.
And so could you see the children playing where y'all were playing?
I'm sure if you were standing in the right spot, yes.
And so is that likewise where the puffs of dirt came up?
Possibly.
Okay. So were there shots being fired toward the pavilion area?
To my knowledge and experience, I thought so, yes.
So some suggestion that there was no evidence of shots being fired toward the pavilion is contrary to what you saw that day.
Could you?
Is that correct?
Could you rephrase that? Sorry. Could you
Louder.
could you repeat your question? Sorry.
So some suggestion that there was no evidence of shots being fired toward the pavilion area, that would be contrary to your experience and what you saw that day.
Overall, you can answer if you understand the question.
Yes. To my knowledge, there were shots fired over here, and I saw the dirt and
Okay. And where were they coming from?
from this area right here. Like they would be coming, and then the dirt was flying up about this area.
And where did you go when these things started happening?
The second grade wing is right here, closest to the playground. I ended up in the first classroom.
And before you got in that classroom, did you see somebody?
Yes, on the way to the classroom, I saw a person in all black and a long weapon.
And do you remember where he was?
Yes, he was over here, closer to he was around this area.
And are you marking there to the spot, southwest corner of the building and the parking area?
Yes, and to me, I guess in the moment, it looked like he was at this, there's an entrance, a door right there. I thought he was more on the sidewalk. If that's what I...
Close to the sidewalk?
Close to the sidewalk.
Okay. How much time did you spend to look at him?
I couldn't.
Just a glance?
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. Ask the witness.
Back across.
Please.
Thank you, Judge. Hi, Ms. Hale. Hi, my name's Jason Goss. I represent Adrian, and I guess I want to say first, I know that testifying and thinking about this stuff is hard. I can tell. I can see it. I think we all can see it. And nobody blames you for that because you went through a lot. And, I mean, all of y'all out there went through a lot that day. Okay, so I say that to say I'm not asking these questions to make you relive that, to hurt you anymore. But do you understand it's important? I need to go through some of these things because we are in this case and they have made allegations against my client, so we need to talk about that, okay?
Yes.
Okay. So they kind of, Mr. Turner walked you through what was going on that day. I think one of the things you said was that you had your kids in library, and just so that I know, and I felt like, just so that I can understand exactly what, you would take them to the library, drop them off, then where would you go?
Typically, we would all meet as a grade level team, but since it was a fun day, I guess, a ward day, we didn't have to meet. So that day I went into the math interventionist room. I want to say it was like room 132. And we spent time looking through her manipulatives because she was going to retire and I was going to take some from her.
Right. And I think you said that in your statement. You said manipulative.
Yes.
So we had it transcribed and I thought the transcription was wrong because I said the word can't be manipulative.
Yes.
But
It's so students could manipulate and move to understand.
Okay, so that's kind of what I want to understand. So manipulative is like an object or something that they're using and it teaches them a lesson about, I guess whatever your lesson is.
Yes.
That you're trying to teach. Okay. And you said you were having to go over manipulatives with
a person who was retiring.
Yes.
Was that for your benefit or for hers?
Both, I guess.
Do you see what I mean? Like, was she teaching you?
Oh, no, I was just going through what she had so I could use it in my classroom.
Understood.
So she was no longer going to be using it as she was retiring, so I was getting that from her.
Got it. So she's basically saying, look, I have these things I think your students could use.
Yes.
And you were saying yes, and let me see them, and this looks interesting, and okay.
Yes.
That does clear up a part of the interview. So I guess at the point where you go to the library, so you were going over that and decided, we don't have our meeting, our staff meeting or whatever, our team meeting, might as well go get the kids and give them extra time out on the playground.
Yes.
Does that sound right?
Yes.
Were all of your kids in the library at the time?
The ones who had stayed, yes.
And what does that mean?
So after the award, some of the students had left to go home.
Okay. And was that like a normal thing?
Typically after awards, yes.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess what I mean by that is, did the school say, look, because we're talking about May 24th, real quick. May 24th, can you give us an idea that year, if you remember, can you give us an idea like how close to the end of the school year May 24th was?
Maybe a week or two.
Okay.
I don't know.
And I'm sure you're in grade school, so nobody's doing like finals or anything, but have you as the teachers, or at least have you guys already basically submitted all the grades that they were going to have, or were there still more grades that had to be submitted?
There were still more grades, but I believe we had to do them for 4 weeks.
Okay.
So.
And do you know a park that's commonly known in Uvalde as Mexican Park?
Yes.
Okay. And can you just describe what that is?
I've never been there.
Oh, but you've heard people talk about it?
Yes.
And they call it Mexican Park because I think it's named after somebody famous in Mexico.
I guess.
But that's what it's called there, right?
Yes.
The high schoolers, they have awards day too, or did you know?
Yes.
Okay, they have awards day. Do you know if it was pretty common throughout Uvalde, the Uvalde ISD, that on awards day, if you want to go home, parents want to take you out, do something fun, or you want to go to, you want to go shopping at the mall or whatever with your parents or whatever those things, that would be a normal thing. They can take them out of school or they can take them home and they wouldn't be in class.
Are you asking for, every child would do that, or?
No, I guess, do you know if it was because you're in an elementary school and Uvalde has a middle school.
Yes.
And Uvalde has a high school.
Yes.
And I don't know really I'm really just trying to ask, I don't know your experience with the middle school and the high school levels, but it sounds like that they were having kind of awards and things going on in celebration on the same day from the high school level to the elementary school level. But you wouldn't know that.
No, I was not aware of
it. Okay. But you do know that in elementary school, not that every kid would go home, but if the kids wanted to go home, they would go home.
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, your kids that you talked about, the ones that you had that day, those were the ones that didn't go home with their parents.
Correct.
How big is, when we say your kids, we're talking about your class that you're responsible for?
Yes.
How big is it normally?
About 22.
About 22. And how many do you think or remember that you had that day?
I believe it was 12.
12. So probably, close to half of them had chosen to go home with their parents, or their parents chose for them to go take them home.
Be a little less, yes.
A little less, right? So 10 out of the 22 had gone home.
Yes.
All right. And have you been a teacher anywhere else? Oh, you said Cal
Allen.
Cal Allen. When you're at Cal Allen, was there something kind of a similar practice?
Yes.
Right. Is it pretty common that, when you have the fun day or whatever, kids go home, and then some kids who stay watch movies, right, in the classroom, and just generally maybe get more time at recess, a lot of different things like that on a day like that?
I guess, yes.
Right. And I'll tell you this, it'll seem like I'm asking you questions and you don't know why I'm asking them, because what the relevance is to you. But I'm not asking them, I guess I'm not trying to ask them to bother you with it. Do you understand? But I really just want to know, because I don't know. You're the teacher, you're the first teacher that we've heard from here, and I want to know from you what that policy, or kind of what that practice was on that day. You understand?
Yes.
As far as that goes. So after this happened, and you went through it in detail, and let's go toward the point where you've got the kids that were remaining, and you've taken them to the playground, and you did that. I'm going to go through this map with you, but you said you took them to the playground that's sort of on the south side.
Yes.
Okay. And you said as you were on the way, you found or you heard something that sounded like a dumpster picking up the trash.
Yes.
Do you remember talking to Ranger Benson?
I wouldn't remember his name, no.
Do you remember speaking to a ranger
Yes.
on May 28th of 2022?
Yes.
And that would have been the interview that you did where you sat down with a member of law enforcement and they asked you about the things that happened that day.
Yes.
In May 28, 2022, how long after this had happened was that?
I'm sorry?
How long after this, what we're talking about here, how long after you were on the playground with the kids was May 28, 2022?
4 days.
4 days. So you would agree that your memory of what happened was fresh at the time that you talked to the law enforcement investigators?
Not necessarily. I mean, could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Sure. I guess what I'm really just trying to point out is that, as is common with all human beings, in the immediacy or in the immediate days after something happens, our memory about what happened is fresher or it's better than years later.
Years later?
Years
Yes.
later.
Yes, years later.
Sure. And so I kind of want to ask a few questions. And after this, and you know, I'm not saying anything one way or another. I kind of want to know what you've been able to see or learn or read or hear since that time. Okay. Now, I would assume, as somebody who is so closely involved and so closely affected by what happened, that you have looked at and examined the reports that have come out about what happened.
No, I have not.
Okay. You've never read one?
Nope.
You've never seen anything on TV?
I've seen, yes, but I have not in detail read. I don't care to, sorry,
No,
see that.
I understand. And I think some people would want to know, and then some people may not, and it's fine both ways. So as far as the Texas House report, you haven't read any part of it?
No.
Or their conclusion?
No.
The Department of Justice report?
No.
The Department of Homeland Security report?
No.
The City of Uvalde report?
No.
Have you talked to other teachers since about what happened?
Yes.
Is there any kind of support group that you have with the other teachers or other people who were there where you guys have talked about it together?
We did group counseling, but it was maybe 5 teachers 4 times within like 3 months.
Sure. And of course, like I said, I'm not asking these questions because there's anything wrong with that. I'm glad that whatever communications that you've needed to do, you've been able to do. But I want to go back to the interview. Because in the interview, do you remember talking in the interview, and do you remember the ranger asking you what happened, what you witnessed and what you saw?
I mean, it was a while ago, so I don't really remember the interview. I just remember where it was at.
Okay. And I guess what I mean is, did you understand that the purpose of him interviewing you is to ask you what happened on that day and what you witnessed?
Yes, I guess. I didn't know if it was, I thought it was mandatory we had to do it.
Sure. But I guess what I mean is that obviously when something like this happens and you're in the room with a ranger, a law enforcement officer, the reason you're there is to tell the ranger what you witnessed.
Yes.
Okay. Because, you know, in that interview, you did talk about, you heard a sound like a dump truck. right? You described it as a dump truck at the time.
Yes.
You know, you described it here as like a garbage truck.
Yes.
And trust me, to me, there's no difference. I think it's the same. And what you're describing, I don't know, everybody's probably heard it, and I just wanted to clarify. What you're describing as part of the sound is like whenever it kind of takes up and dumps and like slams it back down and it boom, boom, like
Yes.
that kind of sound.
Mm-hmm.
And was that a common sound for you to hear on the playground? I know you said it was weird for the time, but is that a common sound for you to hear on the playground at Uvalde, or at Robb Elementary School?
At least once or twice a week, yes.
Okay. So do you know what dumpster would have been being emptied, or you just remember hearing that sound?
I just remember hearing the sound.
All right. And so before you came here to testify today, because you said it's been years since you gave that interview,
Yes.
did you sit down with any member of the prosecution and discuss what you would testify about?
When? I guess, could you clarify the time frame?
Sure. I guess at any time after this event occurred, but before you came here to testify today?
Yes.
Okay, which is, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to do, yeah, it's fine. But what I'm trying to do now is figure out, at any time when that happened during this interview, did they play for you this interview so that you could hear what you had told Ranger Benson before?
No.
Okay. So you've never heard any of this?
No.
So I have some questions. Well, you were there and present when you did the interview, but nobody's ever played it back.
No.
Because during that interview, you described going into the classroom and that you described the scissors, as you described for us today. But during that interview, 4 days after this happened, you never told Ranger Benson that you had seen anybody matching the description of black, wearing all black and long hair.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Let's talk about that fact, though.
Okay.
That would be a fact when you're talking to the ranger that you would think would be definitely relevant and important.
Yes.
Sure. And I'm not trying to get on you. That's why I said the reason I have to ask these questions is because I think the prosecution will agree with me, the things you're testifying to here today are not the things that you said to the ranger at the time. Did you know that?
I'm sorry?
Did you know that?
No, I don't remember what.
Okay. Do you remember telling the ranger that the only way you found out there was an active shooter was your husband called you while you were in that classroom?
He did not call me.
Did he text you?
We were texting, yes, and he didn't tell me that there was an active shooter. He just told me to stay inside and be safe.
Okay. So if you had told the ranger at the time that your husband was the one that told you there was an active shooter, could your memory have just be different now?
I guess, maybe.
Did you know, I guess, or do you remember, when you talked to the ranger, you never told the ranger that you saw clouds of dust coming up from the schoolyard?
I believe that I did.
Okay.
Because I remember telling my family what had happened that day.
Sure.
And
do not get me wrong, anybody who goes through a traumatic event remembers differently at different times. I understand that. But you would agree, though, that that would be a significant fact, just as if, just also as seeing somebody with a gun.
yes,
Wearing all black and long hair on the south side of the building.
yes.
And I think what I'd like to do, is, I'd like to ask you to review your statement about what you said to the ranger. Because it seems to me like the stuff that you do not remember saying to him, that if you were able to review your statement, that would refresh your memory. Do you agree with that?
Possibly.
About what you said to him. If you watched what you said to him, it would refresh your memory about what you said to him.
Well, yes, obviously.
Sure. Your Honor, I'd like to do that.
I have no objection, it's just not in front of the jury, is the way that works.
I understand. I understand. I'd like to have an opportunity to have her review her statement so that I can do a cross-examination that,
How long is it?
I mean, what is it? Maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you want to take a 10-minute break, we'll bring you back out shortly. So, would everyone rise for the jury? They're saying 10 minutes, but whenever it's over with, we'll bring you back out. Okay, you can be seated in the courtroom. You'll have it.
Your Honor, may I post
Teed
it?
up.
May I post the witness? Yeah.
Yep.
And do you need water or anything before we? Okay.
That's what I'm gonna get her some.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. Second. Get you some.
So all I'm asking you is just sit next to it. It's just watching. Watch your hand. When you're done. That's it. Listen.
Special agents, Sean Curtis, they interviewing this.
Okay, we ready to bring them in?
Judge, actually, I do have just a few things I want to clarify on the record before they come in.
Okay.
Ms. Hale, you would agree with me in listening to the totality of your interview 4 days after that you never tell the ranger that you saw anybody that was dressed in black with long hair and a fire and a gun?
Correct.
You'd agree that you never told him that you saw dirt flying up on the playground that was, to you, I guess, putting two and two together, you felt like you were being shot at, which was your opinion?
Correct.
You never told the ranger any of those things?
I'm listening to that, no.
Right. And that was 4 days after it happened.
Correct.
And you would agree he gave you every opportunity to say everything that you remembered about what happened?
Yes.
And seeing the shooter and seeing somebody with a gun on your school would have been something that you would have told him at the time?
I would think so, yes.
In the dirt and you connecting that to their bullets being fired in your direction?
Yes.
Okay. So the question I have is, when you talked to the prosecutor on those incidents, did you tell them those details about seeing the person in black and with long black hair or with long hair and a firearm? And did you tell them about seeing dirt being kicked up at the playground?
I believe so, yes.
All right, Your Honor. And so based on that, we have never gotten any notice from the prosecution, and that is clearly an inconsistent statement with the statement that she gave. The prosecution has never provided us. This is clear under Brady. It's clear under Michael Morton that if this is the first time that I'm hearing of this in a trial of this magnitude is when she testified on the stand about it. And so if she did report these things to the prosecution, we were entitled to that to prepare for this. And this is a trial by ambush.
Okay. Response?
We're checking to see if it is indeed part of the grand jury testimony that was turned over to them.
Okay.
Yes. It's provided in the transcript that we provided to them on, well, it's 134. Here's the part which talks about the extension cord.
I agree that she said that before. I do not see in the I do see in the grand jury transcript there was talk about dirt flying up around the kids. I do not see where she described seeing a shooter, seeing a person with a gun matching the description of the shooter. And apparently she told the prosecution that before trial. I mean, Judge, that's an incredibly important detail that I'm finding out about now in front of the jury.
And how's that Brady or exculpatory, Your Honor?
Well, it's like insanely different. It is 180 degrees different than her prior testimony to the grand jury and her prior statement to the ranger. And it is of a matter of such importance because it has placed the gunman on the south side. It's the same place where my client was, where he responded to and where he went to. And so if this witness has told, and I understand witnesses testify, they remember things differently, but when the prosecution hears something that the witnesses remember differently than anything that we have, it's their obligation to provide that to us, because that would be what could be used for impeachment.
But we provided with the grand jury testimony that had about the dirt, whether or not it was a man in black, they've already stipulated that there's a man in black that was there.
I agree, but not at that location at that time. And this is a man dressed all in black, not just all in black, with long hair and a firearm and a gun.
Like there was more than one man in black and a gun.
But that's
At the south end of Robb Elementary.
The prosecution, I'm sure, is not trying to intentionally miss the point, which I'm sure that the court understands my point, which is it's not about who did the shooting. Of course, we all agree with that, but at what time, when and where and how, and what teachers had identified a shooter or had seen a shooter on campus?
Well, the location is pretty important, Mr. Turner. Do we have anything that you show in your notes, you turn that over to them?
About the man in black, no, Your Honor, I don't.
Specifically the location at that particular time?
Well, I guess the idea is the witness has testified that she told the state. Does the state acknowledge to the court that they were told that?
I said, I believe so, sorry.
What?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the thing about it is that this woman was initially interviewed, you know, in a very traumatic event. So there's going to be things that she remembers, you know, for as time goes on. But I agree with Mr. Turner, that's not exculpatory. You know, we all knew there, I mean, when saying to them, hey, there's a shooter, all black with a long rifle, is not information that they didn't already have throughout this case.
In opening statement, they said that Melody Flores said the man that was in all black, but she got the gun wrong. So this is
I
not
think
like
his
new
complaint
information.
is more to the location of the man in black in relationship to where his client was.
I don't think she said anything about where his client was, first of all.
She put him
Second of all, I think the testimony will be that Melody Flores saw him in the same spot that this woman has said it was. There's no new testimony there. There's no new evidence. There's nothing different than what they already know.
She never told us that the specific location that she saw him, about that south end of the door. She never told us that.
Okay. So what are you asking for?
Well, can I have a moment?
Pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, just need a little bit to talk to them.
Yeah. Finish the record, so go ahead. Before they ask for their remedy, we'll go ahead and ask your question.
As far as the conversation you had with the prosecutors and the man in black, did you discuss, or do you have a firm memory that you discussed where he was, or did you simply discuss him and you saw the man in black?
I don't remember. Are you talking like during the grand jury? During the grand jury, or when?
No, when you talked to the prosecutors in preparation for trial.
Oh, I don't remember, no.
You don't remember?
If I discuss the location, no.
And I'd also like to ask Miss Mitchell, do you have any notes of her discussing where?
I guess if we're going to take testimony, I'll tell you what, ma'am, let's do this. I don't want you going back up to the fourth floor. Could you go with one of our bailiffs and just step out in the hall momentarily, and we'll bring you right back in? Don't talk to anybody about the case if you do me that favor. Ms. Mitchell, you'd raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the evidence and the testimony given in the cause will be the truth, self you got?
Yes.
Mr. Turner, we can just do it from council table if nobody objects. Go ahead.
Thank you. Were you there and conducted an interview with Stephanie Hare?
Yes, for trial preparation.
And did you take notes as a part of that?
Yes.
Do you have any notes as to Ms. Hale telling the prosecution where the man in black was?
No, she told us there was a man in, well, she looked, she saw a man in black with a long rifle. But she didn't tell us that he was specifically at that location at the south end on the sidewalk. She did say.
Thank you. And I'd also call Mr. Garza, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry, pass the witness.
Yeah, but clarify for me, what was in the grand jury testimony that you did disclose?
That there was dirt flying up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Question?
Ms. Mitchell, the notes that you're referring to, on what date was that interview done?
I have to go back to my calendar. It was sometime in mid-December. It was right before Christmas.
Of 2025?
Yes.
Were you the only prosecutor present at that interview?
No, it was me, Mr. Garza, and Mr. Turner.
All right. And you were conducting the interview?
No, Mr. Turner was.
And in that interview, the witness that we're referring to told you she saw a man dressed in black with long hair and a long rifle.
Right.
All right. And you noted that she had never said that before at the time that she said that.
I didn't note that.
Well,
we're prepping her, so I can't say that I specifically noted that.
but I mean, you in just the preparation, you would have noted that a fact like that an additional person seeing the shooter at the time before the shooter entered the building outside, you would have noted that as a significant fact. You would agree with that?
I would say that he was seen by several people, so one other witness saying they saw him, such as Ms. Flores, or, was part of that.
All right, but I guess what I'm saying is that whether or not he was seen, you understand and know that not only is location important, but time is important. Where the shooter is at a certain time, you note that is an important detail.
That is an important detail, but I wouldn't say that I was, at the time, had dissected the time frame with her to the point that it was so significant that it stood out to me.
Well, and I guess that you'd also understand that different witnesses at different points in time, viewing a shooter in different locations, all of those things are important details as to know not just where the person was, but when in time the person was. And different witnesses will provide different times, right? You understand that as a concept.
Right, I understand that.
And I'm not talking down to you, I'm just trying to make sure that, I know you understand it. I just want to make sure that it's clear on the record. And so, because this focus on whether or not she talked about the location, if that's the first time that she ever said location, and it just happened to be the location in trial that is where our client was, and now she's put the shooter on the south side of the building, on the sidewalk, looking like he's going into the building on the south side in trial today. Are you saying she never said that to you before? In your notes?
Okay, were you asking me two different questions, like seeing him there versus seeing him specifically on the sidewalk? The term "the sidewalk" today caught me off guard, because I had never heard that before.
Had you ever heard her say that she had seen him either going into the south side of the building or approaching the south door?
No,
Did she ever tell you that he was on the south side of the building?
no,
So nothing in your notes? Now,
no. 'Cause like I
okay,
said,
so here's my question. At a time when you're talking to a witness and for the first time they're telling you that they saw the shooter, neither prosecutor or anyone in the room thought to ask her, where did you see the shooter? That wasn't a question that came up in anybody's mind, to ask her where the shooter was?
You know, you're getting very nitpicky. Let me tell you something. When we were prepping these witnesses, I was running a law office, and so I was in and out of interviews. So I can't say that she said that and I'm like, oh my God. You know, it wasn't that type of reaction for me, so that's the best I can say.
I guess I know, but as a person present in the interview, I mean, this is who Mr.
What I can
Turner
say is
called.
today when she said that he was on the south end, I was surprised. That's what I can say.
And we were too, or that she saw him at all. But you were not surprised, though, when she testified that she had seen him.
No, because she said that she had seen him. She said that during trial prep.
And so-
What she had seen is a guy with long hair with a gun.
And so you understand, with all the information that you provided us, that your office provided us in discovery, you understand how we would be surprised that she testified that she saw him.
No, because I would assume that y'all knew that, given everything, given all the information that's been provided to y'all, that y'all would know that he's, the testimony, the evidence is that he's on that south end of that building shooting into room 102, right? And so if he's at 102, that's the farthest room on that end, on that south end, then somebody's going to see him, because there's casings from that room.
But somebody is going to see him versus a person in a particular place at a particular time saw him has a lot of it's a whole different thing. And you would agree with that. That's why I was asking that question. Place and time are both important considerations when we're talking about Adrian Gonzalez's conduct. What he saw, what he could see, what he could know, what others knew. Those are all important considerations.
But we already have other witnesses that say that he was, that the shooter was seen at the south end of the building.
Right, and
We
you would...
have other witnesses.
Okay, and so...
So I didn't think that that would be a surprise to y'all.
Well, let me ask you this. So you say you have other witnesses that will say that. And now you have provided, you would agree, you have provided a witness that will corroborate those other witnesses, right? And make those other witnesses seem more credible instead of their testimony standing alone. Right?
Right.
Okay. And so that would be an important thing for us to know before we started this trial. And to know when you knew it. You would agree with him.
I would agree that that was already known, that was out there.
Well,
That's
I'm
why
not
I don't understand why it's a surprise to you.
Because you didn't report it when she told you that. That's why. Because you didn't turn it over when she told you that, and it was something she had never said before. And I think you will agree with me that has not been turned over by your office in any shape or form before.
Well, I would agree with you that I so asked you to come to my office and review our file. That was on the record. I said, I want y'all to come look through our complete file to make sure that you have everything. And that was agreed to, but then I was never contacted. So I did make our file available on the record before trial.
And you understand the prosecutor's obligation is not on the defense. The prosecutor's obligation
No, I
belongs
understand
solely to
that,
the
but I wanted to
prosecution.
make sure that this is tons of evidence. I wanted to make sure y'all had everything, you know, made our discovery portal available, we gave y'all a server. I wanted to make sure y'all had everything, so I did make that available.
I'll pass the witness.
I had a few follow-up questions on timing, if I may. Ms. Mitchell, to start with, there are casings not only in front of 102, but also south of that. Is that correct?
Yes.
And those casings are not attributable to anybody other than the shooter. Is that correct?
That's right.
And both pictures and statements have been given as to that. Is
Yes.
that correct? And as far as timing, the only timing this witness has said is when she heard firecrackers, she headed to her building and saw the defendant. I mean, the gun, is that correct?
Right.
Did she say anything about Adrian Gonzalez being there or not being there?
No.
Did she testify to anything about Adrian Gonzalez being there or not
No.
being there? So the timing is simply that as she hears what she believes to be firecrackers and where there are casings, she sees the man in black. Is that correct?
Right.
And so how does that timing in any way impact Adrian Gonzalez?
I mean, it's speculation in that sense, because she can't know our defensive strategy or what we're doing. But it's pretty clear, Judge, it's pretty clear that we have these things down to the second. Prosecution presented the things in a big blurb. We have it to the second, and the second matters, and every second matters. And so timing is important to the defense strategy. I'll just represent to the court. I don't need Ms. Mitchell to testify about how important it is to my
We have the
strategy.
timing of when every shot was fired, including the shots at the south end, Your Honor.
Okay.
We do have exact.
Well, let's finish up the evidence that you want to. Did you have any other questions of Ms. Mitchell? Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, did you have any other follow-up cross of Ms. Mitchell on?
I'd ask you to examine her records in camera, or her notes in camera, to find out if that's the
Did you
case.
want to call Garza or not?
Yes.
Okay, let's finish the evidence. All right. You solemnly swear the evidence in the testimony given the cause will be the truth, so help you God.
I did.
Go ahead. Yeah, let's do it for the witness stand. You're a little far away. Okay, thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. Tell us who you are
My name is Ricardo Garza Jr.
and what do you do for a living?
I'm an investigator for the DA's office in Uvalde County.
Were you present when Stephanie Hale was interviewed?
Yes.
And do you recall her saying anything about where the shooter was?
No.
Do you recall her saying that the shooter was in black?
Yes.
And did she say anything about the white car or Adrian Gonzalez during that period of time?
No.
Did she ever give any testimony about seeing Adrian Gonzalez or where he was in proximity to the shooter?
No.
And did she give any indication of timing?
No.
Was she looking at a phone, a cell phone, as to timing?
No.
Whether in minutes or seconds?
No.
So she could give us no clue as to what time she saw the person in black?
Correct.
That's the witness.
Investigator, so I guess first and foremost, you would be willing to get on the stand and testify that the witness, and she testified, had never said before that this person was on the south side.
I don't recall her saying that.
Well, that's different than what you testified to, which is that she did not.
Well, she did not.
Okay. So as far as the person, that her telling you, you've looked through this file, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes. And you know that it's significant when people were able to see the shooter from the time that he went in the culvert to the funeral home to walking down to the shots he was firing and who could see him and what was going on at the time. You know those are significant facts.
Correct.
Okay. And the shooter was apparently, I guess in this December 2025 interview that you were present for, a question was asked, or Ms. Hale told you guys in that room that for the first time that anybody knows that she saw the shooter with a black shirt, wearing black, long black hair, and a black or and a long gun or a rifle. Yeah.
She said that.
Right. And you recognize that to be the first time that she has ever said that to anybody.
I don't know if that was the first time she said to anybody.
Well, I guess to anybody in your investigation that would come over in discovery to us.
Correct.
You knew that was the first time she'd ever said it.
Correct.
And nobody in that room thought to say, where did you see him?
That was not asked.
Okay, so as an investigator, as prosecutors, you have a significant fact that's come out, and you're saying there was no follow-up questions to her saying that she saw a man dressed in black with a rifle and long hair. Nobody followed up. Nobody said where. Where were you and where was he when you saw him?
That was not asked.
As an investigator, do you understand that that follow-up question would be a common question that any investigator or prosecutor that you know of would ask if somebody has come up and said a material fact like that? Where were you and where was he when you saw him?
Correct.
And nobody in that room asked.
Correct.
I'll pass the witness.
No further questions.
Okay, you step down, have a seat back at a council table.
May I address the court on one issue, Your Honor? Yes, sir. I'd just like to point out that the indictment says and accuses Adrian Gonzalez of the time that occurred after Melody Flores informed him where the shooter was. That's the time that is relevant and material to this case. Where the shooter was at any time before that has no bearing on Adrian Gonzalez or his conduct in this case.
Well, we can't delve into their trial strategy, but I'm gleaning that there is some issue in that regard for the trial strategy. So, any other evidence on the matter?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Arguments?
I guess, well, the only thing that I would like to ask, because we started to speak to my client and then they put on more evidence, so I had to come sit over here. I'd just like a brief moment to talk to him. I mean, it's his case, it's his part of. I want to know how he feels about, because there's certain remedies that are severe.
Well, there's several remedies, Heath, et cetera, that we can talk about, but yeah, talk to him.
Thank you, Judge.
You want to tell them we're another 15 minutes, if you don't mind.
There were some findings that were left on my desk for this case. We need them right now, or for tomorrow morning? Go grab them.
Let's fight one battle at a time.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning. Okay.
I'll bring them tomorrow.
All right. You can take off if you don't want. Mr. Goss, would y'all approach the bench real quick? I'm gonna do a and then I'm gonna excuse the jury. You can go bring him in if you like. The jury. Yeah, please.
All rise for the jury.
Come on up, ma'am, have a seat. Witness stand. Okay, please be seated in the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen, we had to take up a matter required by law outside your presence. As I've told you before, please don't hold it against either side. We need to, because of issues that arose during that hearing, we were already going to have to quit tomorrow for the medical appointment at noon or 1 o'clock, so we were not going to be here in the afternoon. To further deal with this issue, I'm going to continue this matter till Thursday morning at 9 o'clock for the jury. We will be here tomorrow dealing with a matter outside your presence, but I'm continuing the jury until 9 a.m. Thursday morning, and hopefully all the other issues can get resolved during that period. So thank all of you for your consideration and your patience. It's very, 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 very important with this day delay that you remember my instructions and do not read anything, watch anything, or listen to anything that may be in the media about the case. Don't make any personal investigations. Don't talk to anybody about the case, and don't let anybody talk to you. We will start on time, 9 a.m. Thursday, with this witness back on the stand. So have a good day off. I hope everything works out otherwise, and we'll see you at 9 a.m. on Thursday. Would everyone rise for the jury? You're excused for the evening. Thank you all very much. Okay, you can be seated in the courtroom. Ma'am, we're doing that continuance because of some issues that arose. And what I'd like for you to do is be back on Thursday morning at 9. But this is very important. The rule has been invoked. And it is a specific rule concerning witnesses. And it means you cannot talk to anyone about the case, about your testimony you gave in here today, or anything about the case to anyone other than the lawyers. That means family members, spouses, anybody, until you're told the case is over with and you're released from the rule. All right? We'll see you back here 9 o'clock Thursday. We'll see you all 1:30 tomorrow.